Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another recent purchases update video. This is basically where I go through a lot of my recent purchases and discuss how I've been getting along with them and whether I consider them to be a hit or a miss. This is the first video I'm doing since coming back from my Asia trip, and I am going to be including some of the bags I took with me. My vlogs are coming as well. I've been getting some questions about that. I just took a ton of footage, so it's taking me a little bit of time to edit them down. Otherwise they'll be like 2 hours long, but they are coming and should be up in the next week or so. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get started. I did also quickly want to mention that a ton of luxury sales have just gone live. I have a whole blog post with a full list of all the good ones happening right now. I also pick my favorite items that are included in the sales. There are so many amazing pieces, so if you are in the mood for some sale shopping, I will link that blog post down below for you to check out. So first up, I wanted to talk about the bags I took with me on our Asia trip. I took 5 bags with me in total. I have 3 of them right here. The other 2 were my Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the MM size in the Damier Azur. A Neverfull is a go-to for me for traveling. I just think they are the best travel bags because they are super lightweight and super durable, and that one has been my favorite for a little while now. And I also took with me my Senreve Mini Maestra, also a go-to for me when traveling. This is more particular to me, I guess, but I love the fact that it can fit so much because especially when I'm vlogging, my vlogging camera is quite large because I do have a little tripod attached to it, so I can't usually find that many mini bags that can fit in my entire vlogging thing. So I love the fact that that can, so that is another constant for me. So I did take those 2, but I also took 3 other bags as well. So first up is my Gucci Marmont wallet on a chain. This is the one that I probably use the least, but if I was going to have to repack for this trip all over again, I would absolutely still pack it because it was such a great little neutral. It's a good size, and I would say that I've spoken about this before, but I realize it's in a video that hasn't gone up yet, which is my wallet on a chain comparison. But I do find the layout to be really good, really functional. I like the fact that it's the pebbled leather as well, so I didn't have to worry about it getting dirty, even though it is a very, very pale color. I just really liked it. It does have the mirror on the inside as well, which is so useful. I have some wrappers in here, I didn't clean it out, but it just was very, very comfortable, and it is very light as well, especially for an all leather bag, which I love. I hate really heavy bags when traveling because especially if it's going to be, you know, hot weather, it can get uncomfortable. I don't want chains digging in, and I just don't want to have to worry about being uncomfortable with a bag or clothing when I'm on holiday. So I love the fact that this was super comfortable, practical enough, you know, it fit everything that I needed to when I wanted to kind of pare down my items, and it just did really well. Absolutely no wear and tear. As I mentioned, this was the one that I used the least, but I still did get a decent amount of use out of it. Very easy to pair, really nice for day to evening, and just a great little bag. So if you are considering getting this, I do think it's a great value option. Obviously it's still a luxury bag, but when compared to other wallet on a chain prices, these are a lot cheaper than, for example, Chanel, and I just love it. So big fan of this, very, very happy I brought it with me. The next bag I brought with me was my Valentino wristlet, and I've gotten so many questions about this bag since showing it on my channel, so I wanted to include this anyway, but obviously I brought it with me, so I do have a good idea of the wear and tear. I will say with the smooth leather, you do have a little bit of creasing and denting around the sides, and that's true for both sides. And I don't know if it's the way I've been wearing it or if it was always going to happen, but that is something to keep in mind if you're very kind of particular about your bag's holding shape. I thought it would probably hold its shape a little bit better, and on the back it's absolutely perfect, but just on the front you can see a little bit of denting. So I don't feel like it bothers me too much, but that is, again, something to keep in mind if you are particular about the shape and structure. But apart from that, the leather has done really well. I did spill a couple of things on this bag, and it was wiped clean, which is great. The capacity is really great as well. I have stuff in every single one of these bags. I'm so sorry, I should have cleaned them out. Okay, so the capacity is actually really great. I can fit in my phone, lipstick, wallet, really all the essentials, and it looks like the tiniest bag in the world as well, but it really can fit a surprising amount. And even though the wristlet is the kind of usual way I wear it, I did actually wear it crossbody as well, and I did like it both ways. It's very light, again, considering it's all leather. and I just think it's super fun and cute. I have been getting some questions on the strap. So basically I just detached this and then used only one part of it. I don't know whether it's supposed to be a wristlet in general, but I think it looks absolutely adorable as a wristlet, and it's really comfortable to wear as a wristlet as well. Obviously you can wear it as a crossbody, which I have done. Very comfortable both ways, but I like the fact that you have the two options just because I do think it makes it a little bit more versatile. You know, during the day it makes for a very, very cute crossbody, but for evening I tended just to use it as a wristlet, and it just felt a little bit more dressy, and I like the fact that it kind of felt like I had two bags in one. So I really like carrying this. Again, I would absolutely pack it again. It did really well, and it has just enough of a kind of statement look, but it was still very neutral as well. So big fan of this, so happy I brought it, and yeah, I just love this adorable little mini bag. And then finally, the last bag that I brought with me on our trip was this Chanel mini in lambskin, and even though this isn't a particularly recent purchase, I think I got this about 3 years ago, I wanted to talk about it because I know lambskin has such a reputation for being incredibly delicate, and this is the first time that I've ever brought a lambskin bag on holiday with me. If I do bring a Chanel bag, it will always be caviar just because I know it's so durable. But this bag did so well, and it was quite an intensive trip as well. You know, it was almost 3 weeks. There was a lot of traveling from country to country. There was a lot of humidity, a lot of heat, just a lot of different elements going on. And this bag did so well. I used a ton as well. I think it was probably my most used bag of the entire trip. It definitely got a little bit bashed around. I dropped a drink on it one time. All kinds of stuff happened, but it's just done incredibly well. I've not treated this bag either, so really well. It's still very puffy. The quilting is just still very kind of plush. The leather has done really well, no wear at all, no color transfer as you can see. And I've just been super impressed with it. So for anyone too scared to use their lambskin bags, I would say that I definitely use this bag a ton, and it did incredibly well. Next up is my Ulla Johnson wicker bag, which has totally stolen my heart. I really love this bag. I didn't bring this with me on our Asia trip just because it was a little bit bulky to pack, but I've been getting a lot of use out of it in London, and I think it's absolutely adorable. It's exactly what I wanted as well, just a really cute, fun bag to go with summer dresses. And it's just adorable. It's very lightweight as well, which is great, but I think the quality is still really there. You know, the leather handles are beautiful, the hardware is really pretty, and it's actually really easy to access. And sometimes wicker bags aren't always that practical, but this is so easy just with a little leather tie, and then it just opens up like a little picnic basket. So I think this is so cute. I'm a huge fan of Ulla Johnson in general, and I think their bags are actually really good and really well priced. You know, they're still obviously luxurious bags, but they're not, you know, thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars, and I just love them. So if you've been looking for a kind of mid-range wicker bag or basket bag, I do think this is one worth looking at. I absolutely love mine, and I think the whole line is just adorable. And lastly, for my hits category, I do have my Valentino tote, which I have hardcore been loving. I absolutely love this bag, and I actually just filmed a video with Dan where he was picking his favorite bags for my collection. I actually think this could have been his absolute favorite. If not, I think it was in the top 3, but he really loves this bag and I really love it too. I think it's such an elegant tote, and it's really stylish, I think, but it's also really functional as well. It's very comfortable to wear. It's very lightweight. It also has a really strong button closure as well, so it is actually quite secure. I get a lot of questions about tote bags, and I obviously like the open style, but if you are concerned about security, then this does have a very strong button closure. And then on the inside, you do just have a kind of zip pocket on one side and then some other compartments on the other side. The inside for me is pretty pristine. I have been using a bag organizer, partly to protect the interior, but also partly to give it some structure. It is a fairly structured bag, but I would say that the leather definitely is a little bit on the softer side. And that is the one thing that I would say, that if you are very particular about the leather of your bag and the structure of it, you may not get along with a Valentino bag so much. I mentioned with the other Valentino bag I own, the little wristlet, the leather is a little bit softer in places, which is why it has that creasing on the front. And I do think that the same kind of concept applies here as well. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but just there on the side. You can see it is denting a little bit, and I don't even think that's really a flaw with the bag. It's just the kind of leather that it is. I do find that the leather is quite durable in general. You know, it is that kind of grained leather, so it is quite resilient to, you know, marks and scratches and things like that. But because it is slightly softer than, for example, a Saffiano leather, you do have those little kind of dents and smushes, I guess. Not that that's a proper word, but you get kind of what I'm saying. So if you are very particular about structure, you may not like this as much, but for me, this is kind of the perfect combination of a beautiful durable leather, but it still has that little bit of slouchiness, so it's not too rigid. So I absolutely love it. I love the studs. I think they make just enough of a statement, but not too much. I love the color I got it in as well. It's this beautiful kind of blue gray, which I do think goes with absolutely anything, and I've just been a big fan of this, and actually a big fan of both of the Valentino bags I now own. I don't know what took me so long to kind of jump on board the Valentino bag train. I have been really impressed with both bags I've had from them. I absolutely love both styles. I find them to be very functional, and in particular this tote I just absolutely love to bits. And now for my misses, and I have two items in this category. The first one is a pair of shoes and the second one is a bag. And the pair of shoes are actually a pair of sandals I also brought with me on my Asia trip. And as you can see, they are completely new because I didn't wear these once. And these are my Saint Laurent slides, which I was really excited by. But for whatever reason, and I try to wear these so many times, I just find that they're weirdly difficult to pair. And I don't know if it was what I packed, but I feel like what I packed was quite representative of my style in general. I took 3 pairs of sandals with me. So I brought my ancient Greek sandals with me and also my Sam Edelman sandals. I've had my Sam Edelman sandals for many years now, and I think I actually own like 4 different pairs. They are absolutely amazing. I think the style is called Gigi. I think it's a kind of classic style for them, and these are just the best sandals. They are so incredibly comfortable, so pretty much every day if we were doing a lot of sightseeing or just a lot of walking around, this is what I'd wear just because they were so incredibly comfortable and just, as I mentioned, tried and tested for me. But I also packed and wore a lot my ancient Greek sandals. These are what I tended to go for when I wanted something a little bit more dressy, and usually when I was going to dinner or something like that, I still wanted a flat sandal. These are very comfortable, but they are a little bit less stable than my Sam Edelman ones. So if I knew I was going to be walking a lot, I tended to go for these ones. But if I knew that the walking wasn't too much, then I'd go for my ancient Greek ones. But absolutely love these, absolutely love them both. But that doesn't unfortunately apply to my Saint Laurent slides, and again, I don't even fully know what this is. I don't know if it's just a little bit too brown. I don't know if it's the style. You know, I do have my Hermes orange sandals as well, but I tried pretty much every day for 2 weeks. So every day I would kind of put these on, look at my outfit, realize it didn't really work, and then just change into one of my other 2 pairs. So sadly, these weren't really a win for me for this trip. I'm going to continue trying to pair them with things, but yeah, they just didn't seem to go with what I packed, which was mainly midi dresses, kind of floaty summer styles, and they just looked a bit kind of clunky and, if I'm being honest, a little bit old manish. So yeah, not too sure. I'm not giving up on them yet. I am going to still try and incorporate these into outfits, but yeah, they definitely were a little bit of a disappointment, at least for this trip. And then my last item that I'm going to be discussing, which is also a bit of a miss, is my Neverfull. And it's unusual that a Neverfull makes any kind of miss list for me because I am a huge fan of the Neverfull style. If you've watched my channel for a while, you will absolutely know that because I talk about Neverfulls all the time and how much I love them. But I don't know if you'll be able to see that. This one has actually been collecting dust because I have pretty much not used this at all. I've used it a couple of times since I got it, and I just don't reach for this bag. And I thought this would be a really nice option for winter. I thought, you know, it being with the black leather, just it would be much more weatherproof and practical. But I just haven't, I guess, felt the need to use this. I did think that my Neverfull in the size in the Damier Azur would pretty much only be a spring-summer bag because of the colour combination. But I've actually found that I've worn it all year round. You know, in winter, I've liked the fact that it's a lighter colour, so it breaks outfits up a bit more. And I just haven't felt the need to change out of that. So whereas I love that bag to bits and I continue to use it all the time, This bag has really been neglected and I do really regret buying it because it wasn't particularly cheap. You know, it was a custom order. I did get it just with the stamp there. It is plain on the other side, but I just have not gotten my money's worth out of this at all. So kind of annoyed at myself for buying it, to be honest. I guess I just misjudged how much I would use it. One good thing is though that I was considering getting a piece of luggage from Louis Vuitton. I was thinking about getting the keep all in the same kind of combination, and this has really made me doubt whether I should go for that. It is quite an expensive piece of luggage, so I definitely don't want to waste my money, so I really have put a pause on that purchase because I've not used this as much as I thought I would. But yeah, so kind of disappointed in myself. You know, it's obviously not really the bag's fault, but I guess the color combination is a little bit too harsh for me. I thought I'd really like it because you don't have to worry about the vachetta, but actually I don't even mind the fact that the vachetta patinas. I think it's just a characteristic of the Louis Vuitton canvas, and I just love my other one so much. So yeah, not such a hit for me. Obviously this is going to be particular to kind of how you dress and everything. Obviously there's no issue with the actual style, but the color combination is a little bit dark, and I guess it just isn't really in keeping with how I dress a lot of the time, and when I have another one that I like so much, I haven't really found a use for this one. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave links to all the items down below in the description section, but if you have any other questions for me, then leave them down below. If you enjoy these recent purchases update videos, please give us a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.